What up? What up? Fantasy Football Hustler back at you. And oh, yeah, we are finishing out the Commissioners Academies. This is the second to last video. We're going to be talking about some commissioner etiquette. And we're just going to jump right into this with some commissioner dues. If it's your first time watching me on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you're at, make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow. Go to fantasyfootballhustler.com and you can follow me everywhere on social media and every podcast out there. If you're a podcast listener, go search me right now and hit the subscribe button, Fantasy Football Hustler, on all podcast platforms. Let's get into some commissioner dues. You got to be fair to everyone, okay? I hate the leagues that I hear about where the commissioner is, all about themselves and fair to their friends. Like, you got to be fair to everyone. Come on, that should be rule number one. I shouldn't even have to say that. And let's make sure that just be transparent, explain everything. It might get a little annoying. I mean, there may be people who are brand new to fantasy football. Maybe you introduced a new setting or something, changed some scoring, who knows? But whatever it is, just be okay with explaining it. Also, don't slack. Do things in advance. Get your draft date planned in advance, collect the league fees in advance, just get everything going. Don't wait till the last second. It's so annoying. Now, something big. I mean, if you're on Sleeper, there's already a really nice league chat. But if you're on like Yahoo or ESPN or, NFL Fantasy or literally any other platform other than Sleeper, the chats really aren't the best. So I'd recommend, getting a group me chat, or if everyone's on Facebook, do a Facebook Messenger chat, or Discord. There's a lot of options that you can use to get some league chats going. As a commissioner, you're going to have a lot of decisions. Be decisive with your decisions, okay? Whatever you do, think about it quick. Think of a decision quick, because nobody wants to wait around, okay? Just be decisive with your decisions. Something that everybody should do. Every commissioner should have a set of bylaws for their leagues. It just makes it easier. Make sure that people read them, okay? That's the point of the bylaws. So you should have like scoring in there. You should have the roster breakdown. You should have the league fees and the payouts and all that kind of stuff should be in there. Makes it real easy. And once you show everybody, all you have to do is refer back to that. Any questions? Refer back to that. Always do what's in the best interest of the league, not yourself, not your friends, okay? Because literally a couple moves could just ruin your entire league and make like half of your league not want to play anymore. So always do what's in the best interest of the league. One big thing that you got to remember, especially if you make sure that people are, getting in their money on time, you want to be sure that you're the type of person to pay people off in a timely fashion. I mean, unless you have one of those leagues where everyone's like taking their time, to pay and then just paying last second, in that case, like, that's what you deserve on the other end of things. But if everyone is paying in time, everyone is giving you money, in advance before the draft, all that, make sure you pay people off in a timely fashion. Pretty simple. All your league changes, put it to a vote. If it's not in the bylaws, you got to put it to a vote. Nobody likes mid-season changes, so it's really got to be one of those things that everybody agrees on it. And if someone doesn't agree, you better be good at explaining things and make people understand why they should agree. Now, those were the commissioner do's. How about some commissioner don'ts? Don't take advantage of your position. It's fake authority anyways. You are the commissioner of a fake football league. Okay? We love fantasy football, but let's not take our authority too seriously. Don't slack on your off-season tasks, league changes, draft date. If someone brought up changes, the previous year, suggestions, things like that, put those kind of things to a vote, a little bit earlier. Don't be lazy. I can't say that enough. And one phrase that you should never say is, if I do it for you, I have to do it for everyone. Guess what? If a situation comes up where you have to do it for one person and the same situation comes up where you have to do it for another person, it's okay. As long as it's not happening like every single week or, things like that. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. If it happens once, just make sure to tell the person, I'm going to fix this for you now. Just try not to make it a habit. Don't have to be a jerk about it. Another thing is, don't do shady things. Like, I hear stories about commissioners. Just don't do it, okay? Fantasy karma is a real thing. Let's remember that. Don't do anything shady as a commissioner. Don't screw over your friends, for sure. Unless screwing them over means winning, win, do it that way. But Don't screw your friends over. Don't screw random people on the internet over. It's not cool. As the commissioner, don't be a pushover. I'm not saying don't make changes. I'm not saying don't accommodate some people, but you gotta know where to draw the line. So just don't be a pushover. And also, don't let one person ruin your league, because literally that can happen. So if there's someone who is like very, very toxic, to the league, don't be afraid to kick someone out. I mean, I'm not talking about, mid-season or anything like that, but, at the end of the year, if it's someone who is like literally toxic to your league, just don't invite them back. It's as simple as that. I wouldn't recommend kicking anyone out like mid-year or anything like that. Like, it'd have to be a really, really extreme case. But yeah, don't let one person bring down your league, because that just sucks. Now, here's something that I feel is very important. League votes versus commissioner control on trades. Now, this is a really taboo like discussion, because I know there are people who get heated on each side of this argument. I don't like vetoes. I really don't. And I feel like maybe it's because I've played in so many leagues before that there's just certain people who we know, no matter what the trade is, they're just going to hit veto just because. And that kind of shit sucks. Like, everybody should be able to manage their team accordingly. So for every league that I manage, it's a commissioner vote. I have full commissioner control, and pretty much every trade gets pushed through, and unless it looks like obvious collusion. And if it does look like obvious collusion, the person who looks like they're getting screwed over in the trade, I ask them, did you want to make this trade? Like, what was your reasoning behind this trade? I don't give my input or anything like that. And if their reasoning makes sense, I just push the trade through, because it's up to them, as long as like they won't coerced. I mean, we talked about it on the show a couple days ago. Like, do we think it's okay for people to put money, like physical money, and pay for players, amongst the trade as well? I kind of think that's a no-go for me, just because you're just buying off players, at that point. I don't like it. So, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why you shouldn't do it. Maybe there's a couple reasons why you should. I just don't like it. Some negatives about the league votes is you have to wait like 1 to 3 days. It kind of just depends on the setting. I mean, the standard setting is you wait 2 days. So you have to wait 2 days for the vote. And then there's like a third day where it actually processes. So what sucks with that is you have to make a trade like days and days in advance to be able to get it for Sunday. I really don't like that. That's the biggest negative when it comes to the league vote. I like the commissioner vote, because like when a trade comes through, more often than not, because this is my life, I look at it right away and I push the trade through. It literally goes through like on the spot. So just imagine, for some of you guys who play in leagues where you have to wait, 2 days for a trade to go through. Imagine you making a trade on a Thursday for a player that's playing on Thursday, and being able to make that trade same day, put them into your lineup and play them, or make a trade Sunday morning, like right before the game starts, Sunday afternoon, whatever it is. So just think about it that way. That's why the commissioner control for the trades is just way better, in my opinion. Now, 2 things that you have to decide going into the season: the playoff, when those are going to start, and then the trade deadlines. I mean, for the playoffs, it really just depends on how many teams you have making it to the playoffs. This year, week 17 is going to be the championship, and that's because NFL season goes into week 18. So now week 18 is the final season. So most playoff formats, if you play in a 12 team and 6 teams make it, that means usually your playoffs are going to be from week 15 to week 17. There's buys in week 14 now, so it wouldn't really be that smart to have your playoffs starting in week 14 unless you have a lot of playoff teams making it. For the teams that have only 4 teams making it, you're going to be playing week 16 and 17. I recommend don't going into week 18. I mean, I just wouldn't do it. It's usually not as fun. There's always going to be some big name players that sit. I just wouldn't do it. And I don't like the 2-week final, championship game either. Like, I really don't like that. I don't get the concept, behind that. So I would just have it, if it was 6 teams going in a 12-team league, week 15, week 16, then championship, week 17. And then the trade deadlines. Every platform has different deadlines. I usually push it off as far back as you can, whatever the platform actually allows. But ones like Sleeper, I mean, you can turn it off. You can go into week 17. I usually have week 13 as a cutoff. So in years prior, I've had it at week 12, but now I'm going to be having it at week 13. So there's no trades any week before the playoffs, and then obviously no trades in the playoffs. Now, this is for redraft, not for Dynasty. All right, my final thoughts are: the commissioner makes or breaks the league. Just remember that. You really want to do what's in the best interest of the league. Remember, this is all about having fun. You know, obviously, you know, for some people, it's about a little bit of making money, you know, so when it comes to the money, we got to do our due diligence with that, make sure we're collecting on time, you know, make sure that we're paying people out on time, you know, all that kind of stuff. But this is all about having fun. Make sure your league is just a fun experience all around. And that's what the next video coming up is going to talk about. We're going to be talking about custom leagues. I'm going to talk a little bit about auction style drafts. That's not really too custom. I just know it's a little bit, it's different than the snake draft. And I know a lot of people are getting into that now. And then also I'm going to be breaking down vampire leagues, how those work. And I'm going to be breaking down guillotine leagues and how those work. Check that out. It's going to be dropping tomorrow. Got them back to back. And before we get out of here, I got to remind everybody, go show your boy some love. Go get some merch. Go to 420crew.org, 420crew.org, and use the code FF420 to get 10% off. So we got the 420 Crew shirts. You can get the What Up shirt. We got the Get Kickers Out of Fantasy Football. I got, if you won a championship, a Hustler championship last year, go check out the shirts because we got the 2020 championship shirts up there. I got so many dope shirts. Just go check them out. If you ever have an idea for a custom shirt that you want, just let me know. Let me know. We will put something together for you. That's 420crew.org, and you can go to fantasyfootballhustler.com. Go check everything out. It's right there in the back of me. Go check everything out. Go follow me everywhere on social media. Go follow me everywhere on every podcast. Go follow now so you get the automatic downloads. Come on, guys. Help me get my numbers up. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next video. Peace out.
Are you ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother. Show me the money.
Oh, you didn't know?
Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling.
Put my shoes on, you wouldn't last a mile.
Summertime, wintertime, I'm on the grind. Yeah, I got the ring, I'm the champ, I'm the genie of the lamp.
This is the gift I was given, so I just live by my hustle.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Yeah.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Yeah.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Yeah.
VIP me put in my pocket, it don't make sense, but don't make a profit. So I hustle, ladies and homies. Make money, money.
It's hard out here for a pill. When he tryna get this money for the real.
I want to find a thing to save my life. So I hustle.
It ain't over for me. No, it ain't over for me.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Show me the money!
Okay, let's go smoke that joint.